Alright, we'll go back to the league race. This time we're back with No, that's not right. That's not the correct one. We're back with FTRL for round number 9, I think, of Division 1 here at the Belgian Grand Prix. And, well, where's qualifying? Well, the file I exported accidentally, I removed the qualifying, so let me give you a brief synopsis of what happened. There is rain for the race that's coming. I had done a 42.2 as a PB in practice, which would have been good enough, I think, for 4th or 5th. But I weighed up whether to qualify inside the top 10 or to start on mediums and go to the rain rather than start on softs, then have to pit and then, you know, end up behind everyone. And then rain comes out and then you're behind all the medium runners who extended all the way in the first place. And there you go, there's your race. So I thought it'd be better to start on the mediums. I tried to set a slow-ish time, or a slower time, and I actually invalidated my last run. So I think I could have started like a 12th or 13th, but instead we're in P16. That's all you really need to know. I do enjoy this track. Again, my 42.2 I think is a strong time, so I'm pretty happy to be doing that. But so I feel like I'm very much out of place heading into this one. So hopefully we can, hopefully make some progress, and I believe that we can. Here we go then. As we get ready, nice quick turnaround. Here we go then. 4, 5 red lights, and away we go. It's a good start. Bogged down a little bit in second gear, and short run down to turn 1. He's going to find the racing line left hand side. Just going to hope to swoop around the outside of something. Tom is on the inside there. Hope to get a better run on the exit there, but heading down the hill, and Dan doesn't use his ERS, which boxes me in. Tom will be able to slip through on the inside, but I get boxed in, so I was a little annoyed by that at the time, because it was very clear that when someone's not using ERS then. So we're down in 18th rather out of 19 drivers, so yeah, a bit frustrating. I had a decent start, but just boxed in, like kind of similar to what happened at Singapore. Anyways, side by side action going through Les Combes. Curbs here are rough, especially around that. How is that? I don't know how it's possible for that Les Combes corner curb to be just almost unusable. Anyways, the outside of Bruxelles, or is it Brussels? I don't know. It's like as in like Brussels. I don't know. Anyways, the pronunciations are odd. Anyways, there's a bit of a gaggle up here because Joe has got wing damage. So there's a bit of kerfuffling going on, but good run coming out of Pouan. I'm going to slip to Dan's left hand side to get by Joe. He lets people go and gave Dan the shout that I was coming left hand side, left the space on the inside, and boom, at least we can move up positions, and we're back to where we started in P16 and then P15 as Kevin spins. I think he spun from pole as well. So anyways, that's really about it for this first lap, really. Did I mean to leave the rest of this lap in? No. But I'm kind of scrambling because excuse time. But I did the no-com version of this like the other day, and there goes Dylan. Actually, that's why I left it in, because Dylan retired. That's why I left it in. Never mind. Forget everything I just said. VSC is deployed because Dylan retired there coming out of Blanchimont. So anyways, we're going to finish this lap in P14. And I could sense early on that I was catching Tom on the straights there. We're going to jump to lap 2 though. I think who's next to spin? It's Dark Bolt. And get a good run. And this must have been what Jane felt when in Suzuka, because Tom is running very high wings. We're running quite low wings. I think it's like 8.5 or something like that. And just monstered him in a straight line. Should I have maybe... we try and get by here, but Kevin's at the back of this, like a little tap there from behind. I was like, hold on, what's going on there? Because something didn't feel right. So I thought, Kevin's on softs, he's quick, he's got the inside line. Let him go and just try and get a nice good run out of La Source. So, but I knew Tom could have been there for the taking in a straight line, so we got Dan still behind us. So straight line speed was good, as you're going to see coming up this hill. We are just under 6/10 back, or just over 6/10 back when we're heading up the hill. You're going to see how just with DRS, ERS absolutely gazumped in a straight line. This is what it must have felt like. This is what Johnny must have seen when, he was catching me in Suzuka. But there you go. Then we're up into P13 then. So slowly but surely. And of course, the soft runners will have to pit at some point as well, because the rain's coming in, I think, in 10 to 15 minutes. But next lap, Dan's will have the DRS, and well, I wasn't going to fight that really because I can't, first and foremost. But did back into the slipstream, and even Tom, though, with, you know, I had no DRS at the help the straight there. I left him the space on the inside in case he went for it. I shouldn't have gone as deep as I did, but anyways, let Dan kind of go there pretty quickly. So I didn't mean for Dan to, you know, just get 8/10 clear already. Just misjudged breaking it into last source, trying to leave space. So Tom was quick enough to keep up throughout the lap, though. So even though he didn't have the straight line speed I did, as long as he had DRS heading up here, he was fine. You know, because he was in that range. So like, it just shows how very even the pace was, and it would come down basically to the last lap essentially. If you know, if we were to stay in this kind of position, who could use DRS then? You know, on the last lap. But this began the back and forth between myself and Tom. So that was lap 6. See, the clouds are getting darker. That was lap 6. Heading on then to lap number 8. There is a yellow flag because Tico is out of the race. Oh yeah, Tom got by again. But I'm going to go for another run now. Couldn't get by last lap, so we're going to have another go this time. Look at the closing speed. Damn. Left hand side, racing line. Leave the space on the inside. See, I didn't go quite to the apex there. Left the space. And we are through there. Overspeed was crazy. But we carry on. Dan is got by Chris, who's a few seconds up the road on hards. That's where we're trying to chase next. And Scuba, you can see in the 11th there, has made his stop on his softs. And I have to say, with the delta being 1.1 seconds, and he was absolutely flying. Lap 9, though, this is where things begin to change a little bit, though. Again, Tom is coming. And I've got good straight line speed, but not good enough to, you know, ward off DRS like this. And I'm going to save my ERS if I can. So Tom's going to go through. Wesker, I think, is having some issues up in front. I think he's got wing damage, and he may have floor damage too. At this phase of the race, I know he had floor damage for the most of the race, but he's got wing damage, I think, at this stage as well. And obviously, Kevin just got by him as well. So, anyways, Tom gets up on the curb on the exit there of the no-name corner. Alright, Bruxelles. I tried to go and avoid him. I don't know if the car is going to ghost, and there you go. That is
I didn't know he was going to ghost.
Hugely frustrating because, yeah, it's frustrating because, you know, you try and do your best to. You can't trust the ghosting system on this thing, you know. So even though it was very light damage, again, it feels like orange or, you know. Anyways, Scuba, who was like 4 seconds behind the start of this lap. This is like one of the worst tracks you can have wing damage at, to be fair. So, pretty annoying because we're making good progress through the field there as well, and you know, the pace was good. So it's a little frustrating, but we kind of focus on that at the moment because up at front there, Chris has gone off. He's out of the race. I think then is that Tom Robbo goes for Scuba. I don't think it didn't look like he was ghosted on my screen. It looked very solid, so I had to get the hell out of Dodge there. That was. If I had judged that any worse, like that would have been I was a very high speed crash waiting to happen, and that's the ghost assist we're talking about, you know. That's the difference. But this is the part of the race then where I just absolutely bled time. Funky Fox, who's pitted, I think, from a set of softs at front, he goes through. Let him go through Puon. Tom Robbo was going to come back through, but he actually ended up spinning at Puon there. And you can see the penalties are racking up as well, so it's frustrating, man. It's frustrating to get down to. Because there's no point pitching at this stage. You may as well go to the rain, because rain, I think, is basically here. So, pretty frustrating. Next, though, lap 10. Who's coming here next? Lap 10. Wesker pits. A few people decided to pit this lap. I think some people tried to extend their softs. In retrospect, the way to go was what Scuba did, was get off them early and use the pace advantage the best they can. You know, and obviously not using an old set. Lap 11, so I was saying lap 10, this was the most frustrating part, was Tom coming back through, you know. Having got damage to avoid him in the first place, he spins, recovers, overtakes me. It's pretty frustrating, you know. Yeah, pretty rough. Because, like, look where Dan is on track. We shouldn't be too much further behind that, you know, and that's he's like in second or third or something. Anyways, lap 12, the call comes, I think, to I don't think that's the call actually for me to be. I'm blind, I can't see, but we'll let Lynx go. It is raining, of course, now. So again, DRS, waiting until DRS is deactivated is safe, but sometimes can cost you very dearly. It's all about sector times. It's all about feeling how quickly the track is deteriorating, how long the lap is. A lot of different things come into it. Now you are kind of dependent on Jeff somewhat, for the intermediate call change, and this is where I just understeer wide, and that will let Kevin go. So it's all about, and it's even tougher when you've got wing damage as well, because like you're bleeding sector time from your PB anyway. So you have to try and approximate how much slower would you normally, and degradation of course as well. After 13, like we're done over half the race, and we're at 60% on tires. So Dutch is going to go. I just let Dutch go, to be honest. Nice and early in the brakes, inside line. Let him take the racing line. Left the space, to be fair to him. I did debate whether this lap would be the one to pit. I decided against it. We're going to continue on into lap 14, but the tires are over 60%. Like, so you're trying to factor in degradation. I'm 7 seconds slower lap. Got to try to factor in degradation, wing damage, and track conditions. But you look at the state of the track; it's actually not too bad.
I'm going to understeer wide.
I'm going to understeer wide here, and this way will drive through. And again, frustrating because like. You see Dan like down there, towards. I think he's that stand anyways towards just coming out of down towards the Fangio chicane and all that. I think Yarm's that other Haas that's a bit behind. This is where the change though came for Inters. This is when that call finally came through. So lap 14 then we'll replace the wing, and that was close. And change the wing, get the Inters on, and hope for a safety car or something. But really, your work had to be really done in this first part of the race, I think, for a good result. You had to get that work done. Safety car is deployed here for an incident. I think the Yarm actually retired down towards coming out of Bruxelles. But to position yourself for the second part of the race, you had to have a good first part of the race. So like the Scuba, Tom was able to make some places back. Dan, similar story. If your work was done there, then you are in a good place, because overtaking in the wet is very difficult. You're going to see. I restart here I go through the gears far too quickly here. I don't let the car rev. I know these conditions we're just trying to feel out. We've been trying to keep the tires warm. I think DRS was just deactivated as we got racing. As in if it was dry conditions, it would have been deactivated, not just because it was a safety car, but. So I lost out then to Wesker and Ox. I just run through the gears too low, and just people get better traction because I'm in a higher gear, can't get the revs, and you gain a bit of acceleration if you can get right on traction. So yeah, pretty frustrating to lose those positions. And Robbo here is putting under some pressure. Wesker and Ox in front, I was hoping would get involved. And I knew a dive was coming here, so I kept it nice and easy. Piles into Wesker. I was hoping to try and take advantage of it, but it wasn't. My car wasn't in the right place. But this is insanity on the right hand side. Like I was just, it was like there's an accident waiting to happen here.
Yeah, you got a
big dive then, or a big late break into turn one. I think actually, I made contact with Robbo there. I actually think I helped him, to be honest, because I think he was going around, and I helped straighten him up a bit, to be fair. So, anyways, I'm now stuck behind. Like the problem is now there's a bit of separation appearing because of these squabbles. But I was similar to Japan. I felt like I was much quicker than Wesker in these wet conditions. But everyone uses overtake. There's obviously no DRS, and there's nothing you can really do. Like I got a good run here. I think, anyways, lap 20. So I'm going to nip to the left-hand side here. Barely left any space. That could have been a serious crash. That was borderline. Like I was disappointed because I would have thought perhaps after all this time we've been racing, I would have thought maybe a bit more respect. I've been given a bit more space out of respect. That was borderline. I could have easily ended up into him, into a wall. That was very high speed, and the front left obviously touched the grass as well. But it's frustrating again because I feel like I am quicker, but wet conditions can be difficult to overtake. So. He had a penalty and he had damage. I'd like to think I didn't really get in anyone's way too much, I thought, when I had wing damage myself. Just respect for your other drivers, especially if you got a penalty as well. I understand at that part of the race where I was bleeding positions, it's I understand things change late race, but anyways, lap 21, later on lap 21, Ox retires from the race. That will probably Rough race for Alpine here. Probably ends any constructor's hopes there. Even though Ox has won, like, tied for the most race wins this season with 3. Again, another good run on Wesker, and this could have been a very high-speed crash with the switch I made late on in the break. Like, I'm behind him in the braking zone. If that had been if I had been judged any less, like 10 meters more, I am steaming into the back of him on momentum. Anyways, last lap of the race. I know Tomo's right there behind me. He's going to go for a dive as well. I'm thinking, oh, no, please. I'm trying to get Wesker. I don't need to be fighting another car. So I thought Wesker was home and dry on track anyways. Got that done anyways. And again, not close as I want to be heading up to Wesker. And I think heading up the hill. 7th gear up through in the wet helps. I think he makes a mistake. I don't think he's... I hardly think he let me go on the last lap after all that came before. So I think he just made a mistake heading up the hill. And then we get that place. Dan has got a 5-second penalty as a result of a steward's decision from last week's race in Japan. So we're in range of that. And lap 22. Last lap of the race. And it's going to be P9 with that...
Very nice, Steve. Let's go, buddy.
with that post-race penalty. So there you go. Disappointed, to be honest. 10th place is fine from P16. I see Tom though in 5th and as such, and I'm like, yeah, I could have been close to that range, I think. So yeah, disappointing to for that race to again. The hard work I think was done in the dry conditions. If like Scuba made up some a lot of positions after having pitted, that was when the race I think needed. If you were to do something in the race, it had to be in that first and before the rain, and obviously the safety car as well. I wanted to wait until the standings were done or something. That's why I waited so long compared to the no-com version. But I'm afraid there's nothing to really show. So. And that'll do it for round number 9, I think, of FTRL Division 1. Next up is... Oh, it's Monaco next. I haven't driven Monaco. Didn't really enjoy it last game, and I love Monaco normally. But I'll relish the challenge, and hopefully it's a little less slippery in Sector 2 than it was last year. So yeah, fingers crossed for that. And yeah, thanks for watching, and until next time.